Hello, guys. Hi, everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Can I have some responses in the chat? Hi, guys, so that I can know you people are here. You can hear me. I am visible. I am audible. Can I have some responses in the chat quickly? Okay, perfect. Hi, Arpan. Hi, Devashish. Hi, guys. Hello. Long time. How's the preparation going on for all of you? Yes. How's the preparation going on? Responses. Fairly good. Okay. Nice. Good. Okay. Not bad. Hi, Amandeep. Hello. Hi, guys. Very good. Bad. Why, Nosheen? Why you're saying bad? Okay, no worries. Even if it's going bad, after watching the session, I can assure you, you will be getting some amount of confidence. Fair enough. Okay. Not bad. Nice. Hi, Arnav. Hello. Hi, guys. Yes. So, guys, we have ample amount of practice for the questions, for the concepts and everything. Now, just a brief brushing up that this is something we should focus on right now, and this is something that we should not, because you have your exam day after tomorrow. So you have very less amount of time. So just stop whatever you are doing right now, devote your half an hour, and I will make sure that you people are more confident than when you join this session, for sure. Organic chemistry is very simple. I can bet or I can give you that these are the topics from which questions will be coming. So even if you just go through those questions, you are sorted. Or even if you just go through those reactions, you are sorted. So we will be discussing about these things. So it's just our way of helping you at the very last, because we know you have ample amount of practice. You are already thorough with the concepts and everything. So we are not going into that again. That is something which is already being done with the help of our revision classes, with the help of our practice sessions, mock tests and everything. You're already been through all that grinding and stuff. Now, whatever information you have right now inside your head, you just have to focus and you just have to channelize your energy in the right direction. And that is what I'm here to give you some of the basic tips, I would say, for the last minute preparation. Okay? Fine. So let's talk about some of the last minute tips that we should for our boards. First of all, let me introduce myself. Those of you who do not know me, or those of you who are watching our session for the very first time. Hi guys, my name is Kajal. I'm a chemistry expert over here at askIITians. Some of the students are already aware with who I am, or some of the students already know me, because these are lovely students whom I have taught and nurtured for the past 2 years. So guys, do make me proud. Okay, do make askIITians proud for whatever hard work you, in fact, we together have given for the past 2 years. So day after tomorrow, it's your day to shine. That is something I would say. Okay. So the very first thing that we will keep in mind, although this is something you must have done already, but even if you are still not confident in some of the topics, so that is something we can go for NCERT. It is like a Bible for us. This is something that I'm repeating from the very first session. NCERT, study NCERT very well, thoroughly. because this is like a Bible for you people. Once you are done with that, go for all the back exercises question, in-text question, in fact, the exemplar question. And for exemplar question, I would definitely tell you to go for that. Short answer questions and long answer questions. So, short answer type and long answer type. You can obviously skip the objective questions because that is not going to be asked in our term 2. That is something which is for our term 1. So you can skip that question. Hi, Gladden. Hello, how are you? Now, guys, the next thing which is very, very important is how you are presenting your paper. Because the teacher or the faculty who will be checking your question paper is not familiar with you. He or she doesn't know whether you're a bright student, whether you're not. So the answer sheet that you will be presenting to that particular person will be the only way with the help of which they will be judging. Right? So the presentation of the paper has to be very good. Even if you do not know the entire answer, you should present whatever you know in such a manner, guys, that you are forcing the examiner to give you at least 1 or 1.5 marks. Just with the help of the presentation. So presentation of the paper, one of the most important thing I will tell you. Something. This is most important part. Presentation of the paper has to be effective. And how can you make that effective? Obviously, you can't have the beautification. I am not asking you to draw flowers and leaves, not anything like that, but neat and clean handwriting. Handwriting is something that you should take care of first. Don't look at my handwriting. I know it's pathetic, but I'm already way past where someone will be giving me scores based on my handwriting. So now it's your turn over there. So handwriting is something that you should focus on. Apart from handwriting, whatever you are writing, whatever are the keywords, either you can use a different pen for using that keywords, or you can underline the important pointers. Underline the important pointers. Like for example, if I'm asking you the question that is being done, any particular question, write short note on aldol reaction. Let's say this is the question. So what are the underlined or important pointers that you have to write? It is only possible in case of aldehyde and ketones with alpha hydrogen. So with alpha hydrogen, that is the thing that you should highlight to make the examiner know that yes, you are thorough with your concept. You know these things and with proper margins. When I was a student, I will be very honest with you. What I used to do, as soon as I get the answer sheet, I will be dividing it. Dividing it like I will be having the line on one end and on the other hand, and I will be writing in between. So that gives a proper, I would say, it looks more effective. So the examiner wants to read whatever you have written. The presentation of the paper is very much important. And guys, no one means no one is interested in reading the paragraph that you will be writing. No matter whether it's a 3-mark question, it's a 5-mark question, no one will be interested in reading your paragraph. So avoid that longer sentences. Try to keep your answer crisp and to the point. Crisp and to the point answer. So basically, no, never write the answers in the form of a paragraph. Always use the points. This is the first point, this is the second point, this is the third point. Because no one will be interested. The moment they saw the entire paragraph written, they will be just giving you hardly, let's say if it's a 5-mark question, so they'll just give you 2 marks or 2.5 marks and then they'll move ahead. They will not even bother to look at what you have written if you are writing the long paragraph. No one is interested in that. Yes. So the answer should be very crisp and to the point. Okay. Now, this is the moment for you when you have to leave everything apart and just do the real-time practice of sample paper. So sit tomorrow. Let's assume that you are giving your final exam tomorrow only, and take out any sample paper, be it the CBSE sample paper or any other sample paper, and write your answer just that you will do if you are actually having the final exam. And then analyze or start giving marks to yourself by looking at the marking scheme. So this is something that you should do, especially tomorrow, because tomorrow is your last day. You are already thorough with the concept and everything. If you are confident enough, otherwise, if you feel there are still some topics left for you to discuss, then you can focus on that first. Otherwise, you can just directly go into practicing the sample papers. So tomorrow, I would suggest you should try doing 2 sample papers at least. So this is very, very important. Real-time practice. So you have to prepare your mind in such a manner that this is the actual exam we are giving. Yes, exactly. Correct. Okay. And no need of wasting your time onto the deleted topics, guys. It's over. Okay. Don't you dare waste your time on the deleted topics. There are some topics in which you are still confused, like whether to skip it, whether to not, because there is no proper mentioning like that in the syllabus, right? But still, I would suggest you people do not waste your time over there. If you're confused that either this is a part of the related topic or not, leave those things right now. Whatever you have prepared, just focus on that. So no need to waste your time on the related topics at this moment of time. Okay, Ishita. Take a deep breath whenever you are having any conversion question and try to think, if this is a reactant, this is a product, what is the roadmap for that? Be it in a single step or in a multi-step. Abhi, I'll discuss how exactly you can tackle with these questions as well. Don't worry. Okay. Now, guys, this is something that you definitely should be avoiding. Your silly mistake that you people are most habitual of doing. What exactly do I mean by silly mistake? Not reading the question properly, not paying ample amount of attention what exactly is asking in the question. Like if I'm giving you a very basic example, in the question, it is asking me to convert propane onto propene. Okay. In the question, it is asking me to convert propane onto propene. Okay. And you are having this structure. Because according to you, it's not propanol, it's propanol. So don't be in a hurry. Give 30 seconds in reading the question. So try avoiding these kind of silly mistakes. You can't afford them. No silly mistake. Read the question twice if you're not able to understand it in the first time, but devote in at least, I would say, 30 seconds in reading the question. Don't be in a hurry to answer. Okay. Whatever name reaction and whatever graphs you have for organic and physical, practice them by writing these reactions. Because guys, the more amount of practice you will do while writing or during writing is one of the most effective ways of getting the concepts inside our head. So writing practice is very much important at this last moment. Write down all the name reaction like aldol, Cannizzaro, Hoffman, and all the graphs of zero order reaction, first order reaction, Friendlich isotherm. You have to do this at the very last moment, or this is the moment. And PYQs. If you feel you're still struggling in a particular topic, I would suggest you, if you feel you're thorough with the concept but you're not able to solve the question, practice as many PYQs as possible. That will actually give you an idea that these are the exact kind of questions. Although right now, at this point of time, you must already be familiar of going ahead in the session. We will also be talking about what all important topics we should focus on with respect to each chapter. So these are some of the tips that I'll be giving you. Keep them in mind. First of all, study the NCERT very well. After that, do all the back exercises in text as well as exemplar. In exemplar, you do not have to focus on the objective questions. You only have to focus on short answer and long answer. Presentation of the paper, one of the most important things. No matter whether your complete answer is correct or not. I would say, guys, one of the major criteria that will let examiner, or with the help of which you can actually force examiner to give you some marks, is with the help of the presentation of the paper. That has to be very much clean, neat, no untidy work. Then, if you are very much thorough with each and every concept, I would suggest you dedicate tomorrow only on solving the sample papers, starting from CBSE to some other sample papers. No need to waste any of your time in the deleted topic. Even if you're confused that this is something deleted, this is something not, then also you should not. This is not the time to discuss whether this is coming or not. Avoid silly mistakes by exactly what I mean. Not writing the correct answer, not reading the question properly. And one more thing, whatever is your final answer, especially for a numerical I'm talking about, always enclose it inside a bracket. Whatever is your final answer, always enclose it behind the bracket. Because if the examiner is too lazy to read exactly the entire thing that you did for solving the numerical, what he or she can do, at least they will be looking at the final answer, and from that final answer they can actually judge whether you have done the question correct or not. So always enclose your final answer inside the square bracket. And whenever we are having a numerical question coming, guys, formula is must. You must have to write the formula. Formula is must for you to write. Formula for any numerical. No matter even if you are able to solve the numerical or not, because the best thing is we have subjective paper. So there is for sure going to be stepwise marking. And even just writing the formula, you never know, can give you half marks or 1 mark. So yes, don't forget to do that. And whatever name reactions, whatever graphs we have, start writing them. Handwritten notes. And if you still feel you're not confident, 100% confident in a particular concept, I would suggest you practice the PYQ. That's the best way. Okay. Now, I am definitely sure some of you are still not very much thorough with the syllabus. So let's quickly go through syllabus also once again. So these are all the chapters that we are aware of. For physical, we are having 3 chapters, that is the electrochemical surface chemistry, distributed in total 13 marks. For your inorganic, we have 2 chapters, that is DNF block elements and coordination, distributed for 9 marks. And for your organic, we have aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acid and amine. These are the 2 chapters. How to remember the units of electrochemistry? What all units you want to remember? Conductance and everything? No need to worry about it, Bacha. All the units will be given to you in the question. You just have to extract it from there. So don't worry about it. Okay. Now, guys, based on whatever trend we have seen, or I have basically identified by looking at the CBSE sample paper, as well as some of the previous year questions and the other sample paper released by some other institute, what I have observed. So the marks are somewhat distributed in this one. So electrochemistry, guys, generally it's like 3-mark question and 2-mark question. So we are generally having 2 questions from electrochemistry. 1 question is of 3 marks, other question is of 2 marks. So making a total of 5 marks for this. Chemical kinetics, some of the cases are directly coming out to be 5 marks because majority of the questions that I have seen for chemical kinetics is a kind of case study question. So the entire 5 marks based on that particular chapter. And the remaining 3 marks is for surface chemistry. Now, guys, you must think surface chemistry, if you look at the NCERT, it's so huge chapter. But ultimately, we are getting the question of only 3 marks. And that too, sometimes we have choice also over here. The best part, we are also having choice in the numerical or in the questions coming from the surface chemistry. So you do not have to go through the entire concept, especially at this moment of time. We will just be focusing on the concept which we feel they are like the do or die concept for us at this moment of time. So that is something I will be discussing a bit later on as well. These are the do or die chapters, or these are the do or die concepts for you for respect to each chapter. So this is how the entire distribution of marks is there as far as our physical is concerned. So we are assuming somewhere 5 marks from electro, 1 3-mark question, 1 2-mark question. Chemical kinetics, either you can have case study, direct 5 marks, or you can have 3-mark question plus 2-mark question like that. And for surface chemistry, most of the cases, what we have observed, what I have observed, there's only 1 question coming, that is for 3 marks, and that too choice question. So this is how the marks are distributed for your physical. Now coming to inorganic. Guys, D and F block if you are looking at, बहुत छोटा सा chapter, right? But we are having around 6 marks for this. Because that is what I have observed. We are getting minimum of 2 questions are what I have observed in most of the sample papers. And that too both 2 marks, 3 marks question. In some of the questions, yes, you are having choice. In some of the questions, you are not having choice. So choice may or may not be there. Okay. But generally, that is what I have observed. There are 2 questions and 3-mark question. Now, again, we have the same problem with our coordination. Although coordination, if you look at the NCERT, it's a bigger chapter. But we are only getting 3-mark questions from this as well. So again, no need to waste time over here. We just focus on the concept which we know are the short ones from which question will become. And all this analysis that I'm talking about with you people right now is based on the sample paper released by CBSE, the sample paper released by some other institute, and PYQs. By combining all these 3 things, I have reached this conclusion that this is somehow the marks will be distributed. So you can trust me on that. Okay, if I'm saying this is something which will be there. So for coordination also, 3 marks, although the chapter is very lengthy, so we will not be discussing everything. We will only be talking about the important concepts. Now, so this is how the 9 marks are distributed. 6 marks for DNF block and the 3 marks for coordination. Now guys, almost there is equal distribution as far as our organic is concerned. Amines, if I'm talking about, if you look at the NCERT, very small chapter. But just like DNF block, for this also, I was having 6 marks. 2 questions of 3 marks. And this is something I can bet. You for sure will be having 1 question of basicity. You will be having for sure 1 question of basicity. Basicity of amines. Don't worry, we will go into the detailing of every chapter. No need to worry about it. So, and the remaining 7 marks. So it's like 3-mark question plus 2-mark question plus 2-mark question. This is how your 7 marks are distributed for the aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acid. So this is my overall brief about the marks distribution. 5 marks I'm assuming for electro, 5 for chemical kinetics, 3 for surface, 6 mark DNF block, 3 mark coordination, and organic is somehow equally distributed, right? So this is our overall distribution. We have already discussed this. So you have 13 marks from inorganic. Sorry, you have 13 marks from organic. Then physical also 13 marks and inorganic 9. Because over here we are talking about 3 chapters. For organic we are talking about 3 chapters. Oh no, sorry. For organic we are talking about 2 chapters. But aldehyde ketone and carboxylic acid is most important. And physical we are talking about 3 chapters. And inorganic we are only talking about 2 chapters. So this is how the marks are distributed. 13, 13 and 9. Physical organic 13, inorganic 9, making a total of 35 marks. We already know. Okay. Just in 10 minutes more, Mr. Gamer. Okay. So guys, now coming to the actual discussion. So whatever I have observed, these are the 4 kind of questions that is generally being asked from organic. Number 1 being name reaction, the most important. Now, name reactions, I'll go into the detailing of each and every topic. I will definitely be discussing what all name reactions are important. Then Distinguish test. Now this distinguish test. So name reaction mein, let's say I'll explain just a brief over here. Aldol, Canizaro, HBr, that is our Hoffman bromamide reaction. Then we also have iodoform reaction. Then we also have this carbylamine test. These are the most important reactions. These are the most important name reactions. Then distinguish test, guys. So distinguish test can be with respect to amines and it can be with respect to aldehyde and ketones as well. So these are how to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary amines, or how to distinguish between aldehyde and ketones. So we know over here we are talking about tolerance test. We are talking about Felling. We can also talk about 2,4-DNP. That reaction can also be used. And in fact, some of the aldehyde and ketones you can also distinguish with the help of iodoform reaction. So these are some of the distinguish tests that we can use. Then the third question. Now, this is the kind where exactly most of you are facing struggle. Conversion. Converting one reactant into another product. So I told you, the mistake that you have to avoid making over here, bacha. Yes, exactly. Gabriel thalamide is also important. Yes, Sabin Raj. So guys, conversions, if I'm talking about, that is where most of you are facing the struggle. So whenever we talk about conversion, we have to go in a stepwise manner. What exactly it is asking me to prepare? And whether I'm writing the correct structure or not. Because I gave you an example where you are most probable of making the mistake. The question is about propanol, but I am having the structure of propanol. Reason being because it sounds same. Or propanol or propanol, it sounds same. You can't give that excuse to the examiner over there. If it sounds same to you, that's your problem, not there. You will not be getting any marks. So read the question very carefully over here. Conversions, reactant and product. How exactly can I do this? So guys, if it is an oxidation, most of the cases mein, what we have observed, you can be getting some of the oxidation reduction reactions also. So you are having oxidation, you can have reduction reactions over in this. So in reduction reaction, you know some of the reducing agent, LiAlH4 you can use, NaBH4 you can use, correct? H2PT you can use, right? So these are the things. In fact, for oxidation, you can have KMNO4, then PCC. These are some of the reagents which are very common. And most of the conversion will involve these reagents also. No. Bacha, there's a question in front of us. So whenever they are asking, let's say if I have to convert anything, let's say propanol to propanol. So it's like CH3, CH2, CHO, to CH3, CH2, CH2. This is a conversion. All we have to do is talk about the reagent that will bring about the following conversion. No matter if you can skip the side product. If you know the side product, very well. Even if you do not know, you can skip it. No one will be deducting your marks for not writing the side product because you are converting or you are forming what they exactly want you to do. Make sense? So no worries about the side product. Okay? Then the fourth variety of question is what we call it as reasonal or logical question. Now in this, you will have everything like acidity and basicity questions. So what all type of questions we can have from here? Just a second. Reduction with LiLH. This is what you are talking about, Amin Raj. Okay, perfect. Yes. So guys, here we can talk about the order of acidity. We can talk about the order of basicity. Then we can also talk about reactivity. Then we can also talk about boiling point. So these are the 4 category of questions. But the thinking process of conversions is very simple. First of all, you have to identify what exactly is the relation between the reactant and the product. Like for example, if I'm looking at this conversion, correct? Propanol to propanol. That means there is this reduction happening. So the first thing that I have to identify for the conversion is what exactly it wants me to perform. Is it an oxidation? It is a reduction. addition, elimination, what kind of? And based on that, you can build upon the reagent. But guys, whenever we have conversion, the first thing that you have to identify what kind of reaction. Is it consisting of same atoms or is it consisting of more number of atoms? This is exactly how your mind should go. Okay? Correct? So guys, this is the overall gist of our organic. These are the 4 category of question that I have observed. Name reaction, distinguish test, conversions, and reason, or logical question. Okay. Now coming to inorganic, these are the 3 major topics we have. Yes, guys, no. This is the last thing that you want. Just by looking at the question, you're going completely blank. So just a bit of a suggestion over here. If you feel that you're completely blank in this particular question, leave that question aside. Don't waste much of your energy or much of your time because you have other questions to attempt. Once you are thorough with all the questions, then you can come back to that question. But do not waste your precious time. If you're not able to get the question, leave it, move ahead to the next question. Okay? Yes. Now coming to inorganic. So, bacha, we have only 2 major questions over here. DNF block and coordination. Correct? So nomenclature is one of the topics from where we can have. So IUPAC nomenclature of coordination compounds. Obviously, we are talking about over here. Nomenclature of coordination compounds we are talking about over here. The theories that I'm talking about, the second major one. The first is our nomenclature. Then the second part is our theory. So in this theory also, we will be talking about VBT and CFT. So your valence bond theory and your crystal field theory. So what kind of question we can expect from here? We can expect the question based on hybridization. We can expect the question based on shape. Or we can expect the question based on their magnetic nature. These are the 3 most important parts with respect to the theory. Shape, hybridization, and magnetic nature. Yes. Now, periodic trend. So it's all about DNF. So we can have the periodic trend of atomic radius. They can ask us that, especially for the 3D series. Then they can ask us a question about ionization energy. They can also ask us a question about melting point. And the most important, lengthenoid contraction. How can we skip this? Guys, for the past 2 or 3 years, I think there's not even a single year in which they haven't asked questions from lengthenoid contraction. So you can put as many stars as you want. This is the most important one. So periodic trends, atomic radii we can talk about, ionization energy we can talk about, melting point also we can talk about, right? So this is the overall view of your inorganic, correct? So this will be awarding us 9 marks over here. For organic, we were having 13. Now coming to physical also. So guys, numerical is the most important part. So whenever you have any numerical coming, the first thing you have to do is write the formula. So I would suggest you for the very last moment, prepare the cheat sheet. For the formulas, you must be already having, even if not, you can quickly do that. I told you na, handwritten practice of all the graphs and the name reaction. This is how you can do. Yes, guys, whatever questions you will be having with respect to these periodic trend, it will always be comparison. They will be asking us the order, not the exact value. So no need to worry about that. Okay. Like why this is more, why this is less, or what will be the order. So coming to this physical. So whenever you will be having or whenever you will be facing any numerical, the first thing that you have to do, I already told you, go for writing the formula. Even if you do not know the question, guys, write the formula. If examiner is very much lenient, you will be getting half marks or 1 mark just for writing the formula. So do that. Please do that. Okay. And graph, you can talk about the graph of first order and 0 order reaction, because that is something we only want to go for. So graph you can talk about between concentration of product, reactant concentration versus time. You can talk about product concentration versus time. Then you can plot about rate versus time. Then another graph you can plot about is T half versus A naught. These are all the category of graph that we should be able to recall with the help of this or for the zero order and first order reaction. So based on these three variety, we can expect that we will be getting somewhere around 13 marks for this. Okay. So guys, this is an overall view. This is something that we have discussed for organic, the 4 variety of questions. Name, reaction, distinguish, conversion and logical. Then for inorganic, majority is periodic trend, BBT and CFT and nomenclature. And obviously physical chemistry will be more about numerical rather than the theory part. But obviously you can have some of the laws also applicable over here. So laws also is something that we can talk about. Correct? Now let's talk about the important topics of each chapter. These are like the do and die topic for you. This is something that we should not skip at any cost. So look, so guys, the first chapter that we are starting with is electrochemistry. For sure, we will be getting question from Nernst equation. 100% we will be getting one question from Nernst equation. So you can't skip. Nernst equation and its application, one question expected. You can also have the question from this conductance. So guys, lambda m versus root c wala curve. Very, very important. We have the question of this in the sample paper also. So that graph is very important. And then how to calculate the lambda m infinity. So Kohlraasch law basically. Aa gaya tumhara. Next. Kohlraasch law is all about that. So these are the 3 major important topics that you can't skip. No, bacha, second order reaction is not here. You can't skip, guys. Nernst equation, conductance, okay, or you can say the variation of molar conductivity versus concentration, or effect of dilution is what we also call it as. There was a direct question in the sample paper. What is the effect of dilution on strong and weak electrolyte? So the graph is very much important. Correct. And then Kohlraasch law. Finding the lambda m infinity of a weak electrolyte with the help of a strong electrolyte. Very important. These are the 3 most important topics for electro. Chemical kinetics. Chalo, let's talk about order of the reaction. Finding the order of the reaction, like initial rate law method. That can be the first one. Like set of experiments are given to you and you have to find the order of the reaction with respect to each reactant. Then we can also have T half method. The concentration is increasing, or you can say the half-life is increasing on doubling the concentration, or the half-life becomes half on doubling the concentration. What's the order of the reaction? Or you can also predict the order of the reaction by looking at the unit of K. That is your rate constant. So these are all the variety of questions from the order of reaction. Then integrated rate law and half-life, guys, direct calculation for the zero order and first order. For the zero order and first order reaction. Okay, half-life is given as this much or rate constant is given as this much. Calculate the half-life. So this is the formula for zero order. AT equals to A naught minus KT. And what's the formula for first order reaction? K equals to 2.303 by T, log of A naught by AT. This is the formula for our first order reaction. Simple. Make sense? And then graph. All the kind of graph that we already talked about. Concentration versus T half. Reactant concentration versus time. Product concentration versus time. Rate versus time. That is something we have already discussed. We should be thorough with these. Correct? So these are the important topics with respect to our chemical kinetics. Then surface chemistry. Very lengthy chapter, but guys, we are getting only one question, that 2 or 3 mark question. So no need to waste that much of the energy. So look at the important topics. Friendlich adsorption isotherm. Plotting a curve of log of x by m versus p. Correct? That is the equation, na? X by m equals to k p to the power 1 by n. Simple. Types of colloid. Macromolecular, micromolecular, macro, micro associated colloids. And the charge on colloids is also very important. Positively charged soul, negatively charged soul, correct? Then the third one that we have is Hardy-School's rule. We are getting the question from here. Flocculation. Flocculation value, flocculation power, like that sort of question. These are the most important topics as far as your surface is concerned. Friendlich, types of colloids, Hardy-School's rule. In fact, over here, we can also talk about gold number. We can get the question from gold number also. These are the most important topics for our surface chemistry. So guys, this is all with respect to our physical. Now let's move on to inorganic. Lanthanoid contraction. Put as many stars as you want. There's no chance, guys, that you can skip this part. No. And nothing. What's lanthanoid contractions? Like the size is decreasing like this. This is nothing but lanthanoid contraction. While going from left to right in a D block element, there's a decrease in the size. And that is what we call it as lanthanoid contraction. As simple as that. Now, yes, so this is over here. We are talking about periodic trends. That is something we have already discussed. So in periodic trend, we can talk about atomic radius. We can talk about ionization energy. We can talk about melting point. These are the most important ones. Then you can also talk about their metallic or non-metallic character, like this, correct? So these are the periodic trends. In short, these are the important, very simple, guys, because the best part, all the compounds are deleted. KMNO4, K2Cr2O7, no need to talk about anything. These are the only topic left for us. So it's very easy to predict the questions. They can talk about this only. And guys, 6 marks, 6 marks. 3 marks ke 2 question. Can you imagine? It's very simple. Yes, Mr. Gamer, Bacha, these individual compounds are deleted from your syllabus. No KMNO4, no 2Kr2O7, nothing like that. Yes. Now, guys, coordination compound, although very lengthy chapter, but only a 3-mark question. That is something we have observed, or that is something I have observed. That analyzing, no. That is something that I told you in the very first moment, Mr. Gamer. Right now is not the time of concentrating at the deleted portion. Right now, you just have to focus on whatever you know. Leave over that deleted portion. No need to even look at it right now. Whatever you feel you are thorough, just do it. Focus on that. That's it. So guys, yes, the very first over here is IUPAC nomenclature. Then VBT say what all things they can ask you, we already discussed. With the help of VBT, they can talk about hybridization. They can talk about shape. Then they can talk about magnetic nature. And guys, most of the cases, I can say for hybridization or for this shape and everything, they will be asking us only these categories. D4, D5 and D6. These are the 3 most viable systems. Chalo, ye to chodo, ya fir I'll give you some specific example. Their favorite is nickel. So NiCl4 2-, that is something they ask. NiCO4, that is something they ask. Then NiCN6 or NiCN4 2-, that is something they ask. So nickel is their favorite. They used to ask most of the questions from nickel. Yes. So bacha, that high spin and low spin character is by default related to magnetic nature only, na? Correct? Now guys, in this crystal field theory, they will be asking us a question based on configuration. So configuration of D4, D5, D6 and D7. This is very much important. And the CFSE. So, and this configuration will also be if delta naught is greater than pairing energy or if delta naught is less than pairing energy. These are the 2 in which they will be asking us a question. Yes. So you have to write the configuration in the terms of T2G and EG. These are the most probable questions from the CFT. BBT say hybridization. I already told you what all hybridization they are most comfortable or they are most, you can say their favorite one. That is this one with respect to nickel. D and F block elements, electronic configuration, we should know by heart. Beta, whatever I have analyzed now in the question paper, in the sample papers, I think hardly they have asked any question with respect to the electronic configuration. They are more aligned towards the properties. But if you want to remember the electronic configuration, I would suggest you only remember the exceptions. Because remaining to you can do now. Try to remember the exceptions. Just say 3D mein, if I'm talking about 3D series, correct? So in 3D series, you only have the exception of chromium and copper. In 4D series, you have some. 5D mein, lot of exceptions are there. So you should remember, because if they will ask only the one which is not the normal one. Exceptional case. So that is something you should be focusing on. Okay? Guys, obviously 3D is something that we should definitely know. And there are two exceptions only in 3D, now, because our entire coordination chemistry is about 3D only, if you have remembered. Correct? Because you won't be able to find out the hybridization without knowing the configuration. So 3D series is something that you should definitely know. Yes. And that's it. And coming to 4D and 5D, even if you do not know, then also you can predict the hybridization. How? If it is a coordination number 4, we already know they will be forming square planar complexes always, irrespective of the ligand. And if it is coordination number 6, they will always be forming high spin complex, irrespective of the ligand. The reason being because pairing energy will be, what will happen? So coordination number 6 also we are sorted, right guys? Make sense? Chalo. Now organic. Nomenclature, yes, you can give, because guys, this nomenclature is something that will be help you in the conversion kind of question. They are not directly asking the question from IUPAC nomenclature, but as long as you do not know the nomenclature, you won't be able to write down the structure now. And without the structure, how can you do the conversion? So that is how IUPAC nomenclature will be helpful for you. General common names of organic compounds. No need to do that, bacha. There is no ASCII. You can talk about you can say acetaldehyde, acetone, formic acid, formaldehyde. That's it. Apart from this, I haven't observed any question related to the common name that they have asked. Don't worry about it. So that is not going to be a problem over there. These are the basic things. We already know what is acetaldehyde, ethanol, acetone, propanol, formic acid, HCOH, formaldehyde, HCHO. So no need to be that much worried about your basic common name. It's all about IUPAC name. Now guys, even if you are not doing anything in this entire chapter, you can't skip aldol, Cannizzaro, Clemenson, Wolff-Kishner, and then these are the distinguished tests. Tollens, Fellings, and iodoform, which will be helping you to distinguish aldehyde with ketones. So there's no way that you can skip these. Yes. Okay. Yes, but salicylic acid is something that is with respect to phenol. Now, I haven't observed anyhow. Yes, you can say that. So salicylic acid. Then they can also ask us about picric acid. That's correct. Okay. And in fact, so common name of aromatic compound is what you should be concerned about. Benzoic acid. These are the common ones that you should keep in mind. So guys, salicylic acid is something we already know. OH and COH. Picric acid. although they should not talk about it because it's of phenol, but still to be on a safer side, since the word acid is associated, this is what we have. And benzoic acid we already know. This is COH. Some of the common name I'll also discuss in amines. Okay. So most important, name reactions and distinguish test guide. Aldol, Canizaro. Never, don't in your dreams think of skipping this. Then amine. Yes. IUPAC nomenclature again will be helping you in conversion. Then second is your most important basicity of amines, especially in aqueous phase. Let me give you a quick revision. In gas phase, so we have 3 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 1 degree, greater than NH3. But as soon as I talk about liquid or aqueous phase, so 2 degree, 3 degree, 1 degree NH3 or 2 degree, 1 degree, 3 degree NH3. So guys, above order is when R is ethyl or R is methyl. What do you feel? When R is your ethyl. And this order will be valid when R is your methyl. So keep in mind, most important. And they can also talk about the basic character of aromatic amines like aniline. What exactly is this aniline? This is aniline. This. Then they have toluidine. Sometimes people get confused. What exactly is this toluidine? So what is toluidine? Yes, Bacha. Toluidine. Like the combination of toluene and aniline. So this is toluidine. Yes, you have CH3. Tell me what other common names you are able to recall. Yes, what other common names you are able to recall? Yes, toluidine. So toluene plus aniline, that is toluidine. Yes, CH3 and NH2 group, exactly. Then guys, most important, carbylamine, Hoffman bromamide, and we can also have Gabriel synthesis. Gabriel synthesis. Most important. And yes, they definitely, the conversion of NO2 to NH2. This is their most favorite question. Diazonium salt. Diazonium salt. How can we forget? And in fact, its reaction with H3PO2. That is something they are more aligned or more interested in. So conversion of NO2 to NH2. You can do with the help of FeHCl, SnHCl. This is something that they are most interested in. Yes. Diazonium salt for sure. So this is the overview that we have discussed. So if you feel there are some of the topics that you have skipped from this portion, whatever we have discussed, guys, go through that topic right after this session. Very important. And last, but obviously not the least, good luck. And do not panic. Have faith in yourself. I know you people are gonna rock. Make me proud. Make us proud. Make yourself proud. Yes. That is something all I have to say. I hope this last minute session is actually useful for you people. I'm hoping you should get some amount of knowledge. So guys, all the best. Once you are sorted with this, then we will again start grinding you with your JEE preparation. But first, do well. Have faith in yourself. Don't panic. Read the question twice if you're not getting it in the very first attempt. And No need to worry. Do not waste time. If you are not able to get a question, move ahead. Move to the next question, right? So good luck to you people. All my best wishes to you. Do well. Take care, guys. All the best. And if you have any other confusion, you know where to find me. I'm available on WhatsApp 24/7. Do bother me. Okay? Hope you people enjoyed the session and hope to see you soon quickly after your exams. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Good night and good luck. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for attending. Bye-bye.